Hey guys, what's up? This is Zed here, and so I really wanted to talk about the Warriors' last four games, including this crazy one tonight. Um, and I also want to talk about how good the play-in tournament is going to be, the games to watch in these last few days of the season. Yeah, so let's get on with it. So in the first two games, against the Thunder, right? We're on a four-game win streak, and so. The first two games against oh I haven't talked about the have I talked about the Pelicans game? No, I haven't talked about the Pelicans game. Let's talk about that. So I'm gonna first start off with the Pelicans back to back. In the first one, it was really a flawed victory because there were a lot of fouls committed in the paint. But at the same time, our 3 point shooting was fine, and that kind of carried us in the game. And Steph did Steph stuff. And in the second game, Steph was totally gassed in that fourth quarter. The commentators were like, "Oh, he's shooting efficiently. He's like 10 of 16 at one point, or like 11 and 12 of 19 at one point." And then he goes like 1 of 12 in like the last 12 shots, and he misses the potential game tying three. And Lonzo of all people takes over. Um, but yeah, this one was even without Zion for a big part of the game because he exited what would be the season ending finger injury or something like that. And speaking of that, so the Pelicans GM, I think he complained about that and he got fined 50K. And to be honest, I kind of agree with him. Right, there's going to be a lot of contact in the paint, and sometimes he should get those calls. And I feel like he gets that Steph treatment in that area, where like sometimes he gets a little grabbed, a little push here and there, and the refs don't call it. But at the same time, it's kind of his own problem because he doesn't have that big of an offensive package. He only relies on going into the paint. That kind of hurts him too, because if he doesn't have a decent mid range game or a 3 point shot, then the defenses will only focus on him in the paint. Right? No one will guard him on the three. Sure, he'll make a few, but no one will really guard him from there. So that's my problem with Zion. Not with the statement what the Pelicans GM made, but the problem with Zion and why he got injured. Now, in the second game, I already talked about that. I No one was really contributing in that second game against the Pelicans except for Wiggins, and he tried to take over. Didn't really work out. I think he had like double-digit points in the fourth quarter, but look, everyone just got gassed at the end. Like no one was doing well. Everyone was laboring out there. And Draymond had an and one, but he missed the free throw to give the lead. And in the ensuing possession, Lonzo hit the game-winning jump shot over Kent Bazemore. And yeah, that's it for the Pelicans back to back. And then against the Thunder back to back, what I really saw, Steph going ballistic, obviously, um, but Juan Toscano Anderson. The first game against the Thunder, he had 7 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Tell me, like this guy is not like he's getting molded into the Warrior culture, and he is learning how to facilitate out of that pick and roll right there, where he usually rolls and he has to be the decision maker. He's making great decisions out there. He threw up an alley oop to Michael Mulder one possession. He found an open 3 point shooter. He's learning how to do all this. And then in the second game, he had 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Like, come on. He has to get the respect that he deserves, and he deserves that contract be converted into the NBA contract right there. Um, yeah, I want to talk about the Warriors' 3 point shooting record. Obviously, that was great. And I know we're not going to get this type of shooting from everyone, but if we can get that type of shooting in the play-in tournament, that would be a plus right there. That would be quite huge. And then we got a Smiley sighting. He had 6 points in the second of the back-to-back against the Thunder. Hit a three-pointer. But yeah, It's cool to see Smiley, but sometimes it's kind of irritating to see him because of how indecisive he can be. He doesn't even know if he wants to be aggressive or he should take a shot. But then again, he's like, what, 20 years old? 19, 20? I don't know. He has time to grow. Um, and then against the Jazz. So Steph goes off for 36, and this can be the most off night he can have in terms of having a 30-point night because he was 3 of 13 from three. None bigger than the last one though because he hit the game-winning three and game-winning free throws as well. Bazemore had the layup to give them the lead, but he fouled Jordan Clarkson when he basically had the chance to give them the lead, and he fouled Jordan Clarkson for the 3-point play. And yeah, Draymond, I think he had most of his points in the first half. Toscano Anderson, again, 5 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Yikes. Ooh. Jordan Poole, the half-court three. I was literally checking ESPN for that, and I was like, I know, like, when after Looney got the rebound, I know some magic is about to happen. Right, and this was before it says like Jordan Poole hits a 52-point 3-point shot, and then my dad suddenly calls me because he's watching the game. Meanwhile, I'm preparing for my tests and exams, for my AP test, and he's like, "You have to see this. He hit the half-court shot," and I come downstairs and it's like a cool shot, but then when I see the replay, George Niang was contesting that shot, and I know how he felt after contesting that because. A little story right here. So, me and my friends, like this is in 10th grade, so me and my friends were playing a game in our basketball class. And so I think we were up one, I think, or up two or something, and it was the final possession, and the other team had it. And the kid who does not hit a shot to save his life was literally at the half court line. He chucks it up, and I'm contesting that shot. He chucks it up, and he banks in that shot. Like, I felt so bad after that. Like, it was so annoying to see that happen. But yeah, now let's talk about the game against. Let's talk about Jordan Poole again. 20 points against the Jazz, 20 points against the Suns. Game-winning three, really? Dang. But I think he's going to be one of the X factors. I mentioned Juan Toscano Anderson, but it's more Jordan Poole actually than Juan. I know Juan is going to be great, but Jordan Poole he's going to give us a little more point production, which we need. Mulder had 8 points, all 2 of them on threes, or 6 of them on 6 points off of 2 threes made. But yeah, Wiggins had a really tough night, but a win's a win. I can't really complain about that. Okay. Now let's talk about this game right here. It was fun. The Warriors were down 16. They couldn't hit to save their own life. They were 8 of 37 at one point. And then Jordan Poole, like Andrew Wiggins hits the 3 to tie the game. Then Jordan Poole hits the 3 to then Juan Toscano Anderson hit the 3 to tie the game again, and then Jordan Poole for the lead. They were 3 for 3 in like the last few minutes. 8 of 37 for like 45 minutes of the game. 3 of 3 in the last 3 minutes. I'm like this game gave me like 10 heart attacks and like made me jump up and down like 15 million times. Obviously, being down isn't fun, but so if you guys want to invalidate that Jazz game, or it's like, Mike Conley wasn't there, Donovan Mitchell was there, then what do you call this? Chris Paul was there, Devin Booker was there. Oh, and by the way, going back to that Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell argument right there, guess who we are missing? Klay Thompson, Kelly Oubre Jr., Eric Pascal, James Wiseman. I think I'm missing someone else. Yeah, we're missing like 4 or 5 players. 4 or 5 players. Do not complain to us that we are missing Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell, because those are two players, and we could literally use anybody that we can that we um, like we can basically use anybody. And Draymond has a triple double. Steph actually had a tough night, 1 of 11 from three, but he had a huge layup. But we did like, it's comforting to see how everyone stepped up. Oh, my bad. I forgot to talk about Wiggins' 38 points. This man paced the team when they were down, and he was literally saving them from being down like 20. And then somehow the Warriors were clawing and scratching. This reminds me of the game against Phoenix when it was after the Houston Rockets Christmas game. Same thing happened. Shots were not falling, and then suddenly Draymond hits like 2 threes in the fourth quarter. D'Lo hits a three, or hits like a few shots. But yeah, like a comeback in like the last few minutes. Devin Booker had 34 points. Chris Paul, 24 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds. And how did they lose the game? Jay Crowder had 20 points, but keep in mind I think he had like 15 in the first half or something. Yeah, and he was 5 of 5 to begin the game from 3, 6 of 10 to end. And the commentators were like, oh, he's a very streaky 3-point shooter. That's kind of correct. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention about one more streaky player in the Jazz game. Jordan Clarkson, 41 points. But he was 0 for 7 from 3 in the first half, 0 for 8 from 3 on his first 8 attempts. And then he comes in and he hits like 5 of his next 8 3-point shots. Like that. He could potentially be the sixth man of the year. But I think one of his drawbacks will be the inefficiency. But then again, Lou Williams was inefficient. And he was still like a 2 or 3 time sixth man of the year. Jamal Crawford, same thing. So yeah, I guess all they need is point production, and no matter how it doesn't matter how many shots you take. Like he can be like 6 of 20 to get 20 points. Juan Toscano Anderson hit that big 3 to tie the game. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Trash talking Devin Booker, and this is the best Juan Toscano Anderson that we've seen, right? He's feisty. He doesn't give a damn about what's happening. Right? He'll fight whoever he wants to fight. And I love his celebration, the 3-point celebration like this. Like it's so fun to see that. Or whenever he does an alley oop or a momentum changing play. Like those are so cool to see. Let's talk about Poole again. 20 points, the game-winning 3. I know I talked about this earlier in the video, but I want to talk about it again because that's the last person that I thought would hit a game-winning 3. I know he's had some clutch moments in college, but I don't think he's had any clutch moments in the NBA until today. I'm proud, right? It's great to see this Warriors team grow at the right moment, at the right time. I understand we may not be able to move up to the 7th seed, but to be able to see this team get some momentum before the playoffs start is great. And now we have a winning season, right? We're 37 and 33. We're bound to have a better record than we're bound to have a great we're bound to basically have a winning record. Right? Draymond, a triple-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals. I want to talk about the last possession for the Suns, and after I think Steph scores a scoop layup, Chris Paul immediately starts running down the floor. He throws a big pass to Mikal Bridges, and it just goes out of bounds. That was so funny to see. It's like everything's just coming your way when you want it to, and that's the best feeling. Because in the first half they couldn't even hit from the ocean, they couldn't hit the ocean for the 3-point shot, and in the last 3 minutes of the game everything's just going your way. Andrew Wiggins had the layup poster dunk on Frank Kaminsky. I don't know why they were playing Frank Kaminsky in crunch time, but they were, because that guy is just so slow. I'm talking about physically. He's like just so slow to defend. Now, I'm going to talk about the play-in tournament. It's going to get fun to see. Lakers and Warriors. Who doesn't want to see that? Lakers and Warriors. Anything can happen. Steph can go for a 40-point night. LeBron can have a big night. AD, anything can happen. It's just going to be fun to see. And then Memphis and Spurs. I know Spurs have been kind of not doing so well recently, but it's still going to be a fun game. And then Boston and Charlotte, LaMelo Ball versus Jason Tatum, or Terry Rozier versus Jason Tatum, right? That's gonna be fun to see. Pacers versus Wizards. Pacers with Domantas Sabonis, Caris LeVert. Wizards with Mr. Triple Double and Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Speaking about Mr. Triple Double, congratulations to him for basically being the number one all time in leaders in triple doubles. Some say that it is stat padding, and at sometimes it does seem like you were, but even then, it's still hard to get 10 rebounds a night, 10 assists. It's still hard to do what you do. So that's cool. So keep an eye out on the Friday. I think it's the Friday. Yeah, Friday matchup against the Pelicans, and the Sunday matchup against the Grizzlies. That's going to be key to determine who is going to be the 8th seed right there. The Pelicans, I think they're already out. They're not going to make the play-in tournament at all. But yeah, the Grizzlies and the Warriors, whoever wins that game will be the 8th seed. The Warriors can win the game against the Pelicans, and this is without Zion. So if they can win it, that's great. And Memphis, by the way, they play the Kings, so they might also win the game. So it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be crazy. And yeah, it's going to be lit right there. Whoever wins the season series and wins the eighth place right there. Oh my God, this is going to be crazy right here. I don't know if we'll be able to take the what will happen in these next two games. Obviously, I think Steph needs to do what he does. And we get to see John Morant for the last time. The grit, I guess, would they be considered the grit and grind? I don't know. But they're a very gritty team. And so that's going to be fun to see. Also, another matchup that you want to see on Saturday, I guess, like the Bucks and the Heat. I think the Heat clinched the playoffs, but here's the weird thing. The Heat clinched the playoffs. They're 5th seed. Atlanta's 4th seed. They have the same record as the Heat, and they didn't clinch the playoffs. Nor did New York. Like, how did Miami, who's 5th seed, clinch the playoffs, even though Atlanta and New York have identical records? No, New York lost tonight. Wait, no, they have identical records. Yeah. So how did New York and Atlanta not make the playoffs and Miami make the playoffs? And same thing in the Western Conference. Portland has essentially the higher seeding against Dallas. And if Dallas makes the playoffs, or like they clinch the division, they clinch the division. Oh, they clinched the division. I don't think that necessarily means they clinched the playoffs. I don't know. But it's crazy to see what happens right here. But yeah, it's a long journey, and I hope to see what happens in these next two games. I hope the Warriors get 2 dubs right here. Steph go off, and potentially make it to the playoffs. And in the playoffs, Warriors versus Suns. It could be potentially in a 7-game series. I think it could be, but I think the Suns just have a little bit of an edge. But don't underestimate the Warriors. They may pull out the "we believe" trick again. Alright, if you like this video, go ahead and click on the like button, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, and comment down your views about this. Until then, I'll see you next time.